Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Aiyeesha, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about how I lost myself whilst trying to achieve my dreams, whilst trying to achieve my goals. This might sound a bit crazy, or does it? Maybe you can relate. So if this sounds like something you're interested in or something that you can relate to, definitely stay tuned. You're going to hear my story. So yes, subscribe to the vibe, hit the like button, turn on the notification bell so you never miss a post, and keep on watching. So for those of you who don't know, if you're new to the channel, I'm a professional dancer. I have told a little bit of my story in a few videos recently, but what I'm doing now since I've come back to YouTube is just putting out all of my struggles, all of my trials and tribulations that I've faced whilst being in this industry. I've literally just come back for an audition today, and it sparked up some thoughts in my mind of like how I'm evolving, where I'm at now, where I was, and I was like, I've just been thinking. I feel like the reason things have taken so long for me to progress and to achieve my dream goal is because I feel like I lost myself along the way. Like in my teenage years, I was always confident. I was always like, in terms of performing, I was always ready to perform. I was always passionate. I had a lot of fight in me. Like I was confident in what I could do. And then I went on to train professionally, and I feel like that's where things kind of started to go a bit wobbly. So yes, after school I went to go and take dance seriously and train at a college level. So I was doing BTEC extended diploma in dance and also A-level dance at the same time. So that's where I first started doing styles like ballet and jazz and contemporary. I'd done contemporary before, but this was on a much deeper level. Like we were learning about different choreographers and different styles of contemporary. So yeah, that's where I learned mostly about everything to do with like the technical side of things. At the time I was 17, so that's quite late to start in styles like that, because before that I'd only done street dance. So that was that. I was amongst some people who had done ballet from when they were younger. However, my friends that I was with, we were all kind of equal. Like yes, there were some who were way like better because they'd been doing it for longer, but at the same time there was no like competition between us. It was all my college days were the best days of my life. Like it was so much fun. But anyway, yeah, so after I finished college, it was time to prepare for like university level. So everyone was talking about all of these different schools that I'd never heard of. So I got introduced to like some of the higher educational uni level dance schools, universities and stuff like that. I auditioned for one of the schools. Like after I checked out one of these schools, I was like, yeah, I really want to go here. So I auditioned and I got put on the foundation course, which was not funded. So I was like, okay, I can't afford to go, so I'm just gonna have to work. That was my first setback. Getting onto a foundation course, first of all, and not getting onto a like 3-year degree course, I kind of felt like, okay, I've got some more training to do, got a bit humbled, and also I can't even afford to go and do it. So I had to go and work instead. So then, yes, I was working, and then the next year I auditioned again for this school because I was so determined that I just wanted to go there. And this time I didn't get in at all. So I was like, what's happening? Like, what's happening? I still don't know to this day what I did wrong. I don't know, don't have a clue. But the second time around I also auditioned for another school, and again I didn't get onto one of their 3-year courses. I got put on a foundation course, which was actually more expensive than the first course that I got into last year, the year before that. But I was like, if I don't take up any training now, I'm gonna fall behind. And my family are very supportive. My mum's very supportive of my dance career, so she helped me out. She got a loan for me to go and train at this school for a year. So I went there, and it was everything I needed, to be fair. Like I did need to go on a foundation course before going on to a 3-year course, so everything worked out in the end. So now we're in my 2nd year of like auditioning, and then after I completed my 1st year on that foundation course, I then auditioned again for the school that I actually really wanted to get into, and this time around I managed to get onto the degree course as well as getting funding as well. So third time lucky. I never gave up. I was super resilient, super passionate, and I just knew what I wanted, and I was proud of myself. Like I remember getting my results on that day saying that I've been accepted onto that course. I remember. So that was that. But now we're already 3 years down the line, so that means that people all of my age were graduating whilst I was starting, and that means that people who were on my course were 3 years younger than me. Although it's not that different, I kind of had that complex in my mind still. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like one of the oldest people on my course. All of these people are younger than me. Loads of these people are like more experienced than me in like technical styles and everything like that. I had all of that going on in my mind, but at the same time I was just glad to be there. After 3 years, after 3 times of trying, I was just happy to be there. So at the start of these courses, you kind of have like a trial lesson in each subject. So you'll have a trial class in ballet, jazz, tap, singing. I don't know if we had one for street dance or not, but basically you get the point. And that's just so they can see which level you're at and where they want to place you. So I had never done tap in my life before, so I got put in set 4 for that, which was fine, makes sense. Ballet I had only done for 3 years. At that point I'd only done ballet for 3 years, compared to basically like the majority of people who had been doing it since they were like 2. So again I got put in set 4 for that, which again, I don't know, did it make me feel some type of way? A little bit, but it wasn't a style that I was crazy about, so I didn't really care too much. So for all of like the technical styles, I was in a lower set, and it doesn't mean that you're rubbish, it just means that they've put you with people who are at like the same level as you, so that like the higher classes can all keep up to the same level rather than having people who are less experienced holding them down. So that was that. And then now I was on a professional dance and musical theatre course, so we had to do singing and acting too. I got put in set 1 for singing, and I was like, oh, okay. So the dance styles, which like I came here to do dance, but I've been put in lower levels for dance. Yeah, I've never done singing before, and I've been put in set 1. But again, it made me feel good, because if I had not done that foundation course, I wouldn't have been in set 1 for singing. Not that I couldn't sing before, but I knew how to like work my voice a bit more. So I just found that a bit interesting, like, oh, okay, what I've actually came here for, I've been put in low sets, and now I've been put in a higher set for singing. So I was like, okay, what are we gonna do here? What are we gonna do with this information? But then like in styles like street dance, I can't remember, I don't think we were put in sets for that. I think it just was dependent on, I think it was like based on like your ballet group, so they just needed like a group of people to, yeah, it was just like a random set of people. It wasn't at any levels, so it didn't really matter. So that was it in terms of the sets. But all that information I've just given you were low-key things that were building up that made me lose my confidence, and my, yeah, it just made me lose my confidence a little bit. But obviously I just kept on trying. So it was the fact that I was 3 years behind, 3 years older than everyone else. I was in low sets for dancing, what I came here to do, and yeah, it just was like, I felt a little bit intimidated because I was around people who had been doing dance, again, like I said, since they were 2. But again, I just tried not to let it bother me, because at the same time, it's not like I was the only one who was in like the lower sets. I had a bunch of people who were actually my good friends who were in these low sets with me as well. So it was fun. At the end of the day, it was a lot of fun, and I did progress. I feel like I'm a quick learner, if I am honest. Like I can take things on and digest them quite quickly. I did get an award for the most improved student when I was at college, so yeah. Anyways, I wasn't alone in that sense. I wasn't alone. So my dream, my passion, whatever, like what I wanted to achieve at the end of this was to become a professional commercial dancer who is working with well-known artists, who's on TV in music videos, who's touring with well-known, I don't know if I said that already, touring with well-known artists, mingling with the celebrities, and I just wanted to be on TV, dancing in a music video, and then obviously like the tours and stuff. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. But because I was on a musical theatre course, again, I got drawn into doing the singing and acting too, which I discovered that I was also good at. So it was a lot. I was like juggling all of these things. I was like, should I have a commercial career? Should I have a musical theatre career? Can I do both? Yes, I can. How do I make it work? So those are all the things that were going on in my mind. So in terms of like the commercial and the street dance side of things, I really enjoyed those classes, obviously, because that's what I was comfortable with, that's what I was familiar with. We also had heels classes, and I'd never danced in heels. I think I only did one heels class before coming to my college, before coming and training in it. And that was with Shirlene Quigley, who dances for Beyonce. She came to London and she taught a workshop, and I was like 19 at the time, and my heels were like this short and they were block heels. We never dance in a block heel, we dance in a stiletto heel. But anyway, when I was in college, I wasn't comfortable dancing in heels. So again, that was something that I felt a little bit vulnerable about. There were people who I was like dancing with who would regularly take heels classes and would regularly take commercial classes at Studio 68, which was popular back then, and we're talking like 2015, 2016 times. And I had never done that. Like, yes, I'd done street dance before, yes, I was in a street dance company, but I'd never done any heels. I'd never done anything like I never did any of that. So I was like, well, like these people can dance, and you know. So again, I was a little bit like, okay. At the same time, I didn't really feel, I can't say I felt intimidated. I can't say I felt intimidated at that point, because by then I still had a lot of passion and I was quite silently competitive. I was like, okay, if you're doing that, I'm gonna do better, you know. So that's where I was at. And then at I call it college because I didn't really go to a university. I went to like a dance academy, went to like professional dance school, but it was at a uni level, and I still had to do like written work as well. But for the sake of this, I'm just gonna call it college instead of uni, because yeah, it wasn't no regular uni experience. Like, we were there Monday to Friday, like 8 o'clock till 7 o'clock. It was hardcore training, but at the same time it was fun and it was exciting. So yes, I'm talking my first year now. We had this thing that happens every year. It's a big dance event called Move It, massive dance exhibition where loads of different schools and companies would perform, and they have like stands with like information and merchandise and stuff like that. I'd only became actually, lies. I heard about this when I was at college, when I was at my other college, doing my A-levels. I heard about it then, and I actually went there with them and we had a stand there. So that's the first time I became aware of this Move It dance exhibition, and I was looking at everyone performing and I was like, wow, I'd love to be able to perform on that stage one day. So then when I got to uni college, the opportunity came around and I was like, well, yes, I'm gonna audition. I can't remember the fine details, but I think they said to wear heels, to wear black, and it was going to be a commercial style dance. Now I remember turning up to that audition how I would dress at the time. I was 21. So I remember I was wearing like, I had no skin showing. I had on a long sleeve top. I think it was a a little high neck. I'm gonna pop a picture up if I find one. And leggings, and then heels. I also had on a cap, which was kind of cool at the time, but it's not ideal for an audition because they can't see your face. But anyway, I was still, at this time, I was still myself. I still had a lot of passion. I still had a lot of drive. I still had a lot of silent competition in me. So I turned up to this audition. The choreographer was someone who people had known. I never knew him before. I never knew him before this experience, but I knew that I'd heard good things about him. And where he's at now is all the way up there. The choreographer started, he did a dance to Beyonce. I think it was School in Life. And like I've said in my previous videos, Beyonce will get me up, okay? Beyonce will get me up. I was in my element. This dance was to, yeah, I don't remember the routine at all. I don't remember, but I just know that I felt good. And this Move It audition was a big deal. Imagine it like a dance movie, you know, like when you see in those dance movies and they're like trying out for the cheer squad. It was like that. And you know, you go and see if your name, like you go and see your name up on the wall if you've been chosen. So it was a massive deal. Like there was loads of people in this audition. And so yeah, did the audition, and then I had to, I think we broke up for Christmas then, and then after we came back after Christmas, and everyone would like rush to the hallway to go and look at the Move It cast and see if their name was put on the wall. So I came in, went, had a look, and my name was put on the wall, and I was like, oh my gosh. It was such a big deal. Like, I felt so good about myself. But then also I saw in brackets that I'd been put as a swing. And at that time, that's the first time I think I'd ever heard of a swing, or I don't think I knew what it was. So if you don't know what a swing is, it's basically an understudy, basically a backup if someone gets injured, you're the one who will be stepping in. So it's like you're not gonna be performing unless someone can't make it or someone's injured or something like that. So I was like, yay. And then I was like, oh, majorly disheartened, because at the time I didn't understand. Like at the time I just felt like, yeah, I was good enough, but clearly not good enough. Whereas actually, if you're made a swing now, it's a really good skill to have, because it means you have to learn everyone else's like paths and what they do and their different tracks. So actually, like in the theatre world, I think you get paid more to be a swing than like just an ensemble, because your job is harder. And back then I'd never done anything of the sort. Again, I was not aware of what a swing even was. So obviously I'm able to look back at it now and be like, oh, great experience, great learning experience. But at the time I was like, oh gosh, I felt like I had to prove myself to be made the main cast rather than be made as an understudy. So that was really tough for me. That was in my first year. So now let's rewind back to all of the things that were slowly knocking me. It's the fact that I was 3 years behind everyone else who was my age. 3 years older than everyone else who was in my class. I was put in lower sets for dancing. And now I've been made a swing, a backup, an understudy, just in case someone injures themselves or someone is not able to make this performance. And because of that, I'm obviously going to look at all the people who were chosen to be in the main cast, look at them and think, what did I not do? Like, what didn't I do that they did? Yeah, so then you start comparing yourself to them, looking at everything that they did, try to change the way that you dress. Like I said, remember, I came to this audition long sleeve, like none of my skin was showing, but everyone else had a lot of skin showing basically, and that's just not something that I was used to. But over the years I did start to dress a little bit more, like a little bit more skin showing, because I thought that was gonna be the thing to change. I thought that was gonna be the thing that would make people look at me even more. But I have to go back to that point where I was fully dressed, I had on a cap, and what got me chosen in that first place was my dance skills and the performance that I gave. And obviously I'm only able to realize that now, like 2024 now, but back then it's not something that I thought about. So the rehearsals for Move It Now were some of the toughest things that I had to do, because I just didn't know. I just didn't know how to keep up. I didn't know how to, I didn't know. I just didn't know. And I was just a baby girl in my first year, being exposed to everything in this professional dance world. Didn't know what a swing was. Didn't know how to properly navigate trying to learn what this person's doing and what this person's doing, just in case. Like, it was really hard. It was really hard. And then obviously Move It happens every year, so then next year came and I auditioned again, but like I said, this time I was in my head too much, because I was like, okay, what do I do this time round to get myself chosen as a main cast and not a swing? So yeah, like I said, I changed my outfit. I looked good and I felt good with how I looked, but I wasn't confident in what I had to give. And I never booked it. Like, I never even got chosen. Didn't get chosen as a swing, didn't get chosen as a main cast, nothing. I think I auditioned again the next year. I think I did. But I remember there was one year where I was just like, I was defeated. I was like, I'm not doing it. Like, I'm not putting myself through it. I just lost my confidence. I didn't know what to bring. I just completely lost it all. So I think that was the first thing dance wise that properly knocked my confidence, and I got lost in the sauce trying to dance like, or look like, or dress like someone else. But I've said this before, like, if you're always trying to be someone else, you're never gonna find what's meant for you. And the reason that I got chosen the first time was because I came as myself. And yeah, this is like, after that obviously I graduated, and luckily, not luckily because I worked for it, you know, I did leave college with an agent, so I was able to get auditions like kind of straight away after I graduated. But again, this was all new to me, and I was already a little bit damaged from all the past experiences. So, and I was way too conscious of what I think the panel are looking for, rather than just bringing myself and letting that be enough. Basically, at all of these auditions that I went to after graduating, not all of them to be honest, because I was getting recalled, but I just never ever booked anything from all the auditions that I went to. And you can't really blame anyone. You can't blame anyone. It's like you can't blame anyone but yourself. But at the same time, obviously I can look back now and see where things might have got wrong, but at the same time, the panel were always looking for something different, or sometimes they're only just looking for one person and they've got a room full of 50 people. So I'm not gonna blame myself, but at the same time I do know what went wrong for me. I was in my head too much, too conscious. I was treating the auditions like a test, like, because I just wanted approval. I just wanted to be right. I just wanted them to say, yeah, you've got this, like, you know what you're doing, rather than just being. I feel like I never, like, obviously I'm still here and I'm still trying, so I never gave up. I always was that person that went to all the workshops, like, I did everything, and gradually I was getting better and I was getting recognized. But I was on a musical theatre agency, and like I said at the beginning of the video, my passion was to be a commercial dancer, not to be a musical theatre performer. Even though that's a skill that I have and it's something I could do, I just wanted to dance. Like, I wanted a commercial agent. I wanted to be booked for music videos and award shows and tours and stuff like that. So a part of me always felt like, how can I get there? Like, I've done all of this training. Why what's going wrong, what's not working. And I think it's because I didn't know how to apply myself now. I didn't know what I had. I didn't have anything of my own to bring to the table. Yes, I could pick up choreography. Yes, I could do someone else's steps, which is good for when you get the job, you know, they want it to be a certain way. But then I feel like at certain auditions, they want you to show yourself. And I probably wasn't doing that. But I didn't give up, obviously. I didn't give up. There are moments when I felt like, okay, like, should I just quit? But then I'm like, no, you can dance. You know, you're a good person. You got this. You can make it work. You've got so much talent. You've got so much skill. You just need to know how to apply it the right way. And I think I got lost trying to balance, again, the musical theatre stuff and the commercial stuff. And I was constantly just waiting on someone to pick me rather than putting myself out there on my own and being happy with what I do anyway. I had seen how some of my other friends got scouted by commercial agents, and I just wasn't confident. I was never bold enough to do things the way that they had done it, you know, by like @ing them and tagging them and stuff like that. I just didn't have it in me. And then again, I'd go to workshops where agencies were scouting and they would scout other people but didn't scout me. So I was always just looking at, what are they doing that I'm not doing, you know? Anyway, got down a couple years later, maybe a few years later than that, and I was just like, okay, let me get this off of my tick list, yeah? Let me get this off of my vision board. I'm going to apply for this agency, because now I had like connections with a few other people who were in the industry, and I've met a lot of people by this point who, yeah, were in that world. And I was like, I'm just going to put myself forward and see what happens. And it didn't happen the way that I thought it would happen. Like, I didn't get scouted for this agency, but I did get accepted. So finally got myself onto a commercial agency. And again, this is an agency that I'd wanted to be on for ages. So I was happy with that. But if I'm honest, nothing came of it. And that's because I was still waiting for them to, like, I was still waiting for them to give me opportunities. Even though that's their job, I didn't really make myself known to them. Like, I didn't create a presence for them to even acknowledge me, to be honest. So again, more auditions, seeing more people do stuff that I wanted to do. But by this point, I had booked commercial jobs, and that was without an agent. Everything that I've done commercially has been without an agent. That's been without an agent. So it's things that I've seen on Instagram myself, or it's been like word of mouth and, you know, stuff like that. And luckily that was able to happen for me. So I was able to build up some footage, got some new photos done, and things were looking good, you know. I got new headshots, new body shots. I was able to finally create a show reel. So yeah, I would say that was around like 2022. 2023, again, I was still doing a few bits here and there. And then in 2024, here we are today. Rewind back to June, I seen that, because at one point I was like, I don't know if I want to do musical theatre anymore. But now I was seeing people do jobs that I still actually would like to tick off my list and things that I want to do. So I was like, actually, I want to get back in the audition room. So I seen that an agency was looking for, they were holding an audition for their theatre side of things. So I was like, okay, let me put myself forward. They also said that if you would like to be considered as a dancer singer, let them know. So I was like, okay, don't hold back, you can sing, put yourself down as a dancer singer. So I had to, at that audition, I had to dance, and then if recalled, I had to sing. So I danced, I got recalled, which felt really good, because to be honest, the style that they were teaching in was a technical jazz style, which before I wasn't particularly confident in. But I just did my best and it got me through. Showed up as myself and it got me through. So then I had to sing, and then I had to wait until like I just had to wait to hear back to see if I was on the books. Don't know how long it was, but maybe like a couple of weeks, I got an email from the agency saying that they would love to accept me for the theatre side as well as the commercial side. So I was finally able to get scouted to work commercially and in the musical theatre world under one agency, which was great. It was a great feeling. Like, it's everything I wanted and everything I needed, because I feel like why limit myself? If I can work in both industries, then go for it. So yeah, since being with them, I've had some good things come through. I'm back in the audition room. I'm being seen by casting directors. I'm being accepted to get in the room for shoots, like I just said in one of my previous videos, that I booked my first advert. So I'm happy with where things are at, and this is not how I imagined things would happen. I didn't imagine that things would take so long, but at the same time I needed all of those lessons to build me up into the person that I am today, and to be able to share all these stories with whoever's watching and whoever needs help. So yes, I had this revelation. I don't know if it was today or just a recent thing, but I definitely felt like I lost myself. I lost myself while I was trying to achieve my goals, and now I'm here, I'm 30. There's still some things I haven't ticked off my list, but we're definitely getting there, and it doesn't matter. The age doesn't matter, and that's one thing that I felt like I had a little bit of a complex about. But it doesn't matter. Like, I'm still able, like, I can still move, I can still dance, I still look young. Like, it doesn't matter. So things that were holding me down before aren't holding me down anymore. I'm confident in myself. I know what works. I know that if I get rejected and I don't get picked, it's not always about me, it's about them, it's about what they're looking for. And I've learned that as long as I always choose myself, then nothing matters. You know, I need to stop waiting for people to pick me and just bring myself to the table, know what I can bring to the table, put myself out there, and go back to having all of that passion that I used to have when I was a teenager. So yes. One other thing is, at the time I was 21 and I'm 30 now, so it's like I'm trying to find myself as an adult. Like, I'm growing into an adult, but at the same time I'm losing myself as a dancer. Like, it's a big journey, it's a whole mix, but we do untie the string eventually, and we do get a clear path, and you do need these life lessons to make, like, they turn you into a better person, a smarter person, a wiser person, confident person. And we're here now. So yes, if this is something that you enjoyed listening to, if it's something that you can relate to, let me know in the comments down below. Smash the like button. Again, like I always say, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss a video. Don't forget to love yourself and be yourself always, and I will see you next Sunday for another video. Peace out, guys.